So last night, Gina and I were at this charity event, raising funds for children with, or adults and children with special needs. And it's interesting how when you go to an event, people always ask you, what do you do? And so the first thing that comes out when asked, I say, well, I'm a minister. Well, what church do you have? I said, well, I have a spiritual community called Agape. And the next question comes out is, are you Christian? And my answer is no. I said, then they say, well, what are you? And I said, that's loaded. No. I try to explain that we're trans-denominational, that we take into all the spiritual paths, that we're really not a religion, but we're a philosophy and a faith and a way of life. And so that led me to the idea of saying, let me just talk to the community about what it is we are. So I took 3 we believe statements that Ernest Holmes wrote in Living the Science of Mind. And I really want to focus on them today so that you come away with a deeper understanding of what it is we talk about, what it is we're hoping to find more of it, what it is we believe at Agape. So the first one is, we believe in God. Now, God is capitalized there, not because God is an extreme being that we worship, but God is an infinite presence that is everywhere. Being that it's infinite, it's all that is. There's nothing that compare against it. So how do they describe God? It's the living Spirit Almighty. It is the living Spirit through all things that is living, and there's nothing more powerful than it. Okay? It comes in, it is indestructible. There is nothing that opposes it. It's indestructible. There's nothing other than it, so it's it. You see, when I talk about God, I don't say he, I don't say she, I say it, capital I, capital T, because it is an it. It has both the masculine and it has the feminine in it. Okay? So then it's absolute. What does it mean, absolute? There's no other power. Its power is absolute. Its power creates the world. Its power continually creates this world. It can create anything. There is nothing can stop it from creating. It's also self-existent cause, meaning it is, in its existence, it causes everything else to be it because it is it, re-expressing itself as that. It manifests itself in and through all creation. So it has taken itself, and out of itself, it has created all of itself so that everything is it expressing. There's nothing that's not God. There's nothing that's not God. Everything is an expression of that. It manifests itself in and through in all creations, but it is not absorbed by its creation. See, the creation is a part of it. It is not a part of it. You see what I'm getting at there? It doesn't get absorbed into one person. It's the allness of it. It's the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. In other words, this manifestation that you see everywhere is the creation of God out there, and it doesn't judge how it creates itself. It allows the individualizations of it, you, to create, and whatever you create, you get to create. It doesn't care. So we're going to follow that with this. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us. In other words, we believe that God has chosen to individualize itself in and through and as us. Now think about that. If it's individualized itself as us, then everything about us is this divine expression. Everything. There's nothing about us that's not God in expression. And all people, you hear the word all people are individualizations of this. Doesn't matter what color you are, what sexuality you are, where you live, what country you live in, everyone is that. I have a very difficult time when I'm at the Chambers of Commerce saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I have a very difficult time. I am grateful beyond anything to be a part of the United States. I am grateful to be a citizen of this great country. But we are not the only country that's under God. Every country is under the same God. Every country has the same abilities that we do. Every country is an expression of it. I have even a more greater problem when they get up and say the Texas pledge, because I don't say it. See, I'm an individual. And as an individual, I am that individualization of spirit. I do not want to be put into a box. You see, the greatest thing about being an individualization of spirit is infinite, which means there is an infinite nature within you that does not want to be confined, that does not want to be boxed in. And so there's a natural rebellion in you if you really pay attention, if you come out of the brainwashing that we've been led to believe by churches, by religions, by politics, and realize that you're free to think beyond what is being presented to you by the media. The media is not doing anything but trying to get you to see it its way. You are here to see it your way, your individualized way. And really, what I really want you to get is you got to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So that everything in your life being an individualization of God, knowing that you have the freedom, you're not focusing on what you don't want. You don't care about what you don't want. It doesn't even enter your mind. It's just contrast that makes you more clear about what you want in your life. And then you get to use that power in you to create that. I love this one. This is my favorite of all of them. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever and ever expanding. So when this divine power, this allness, recreates itself, divides itself into the individualizations of it, which we are, that individualization is this aspect that we call the soul. This soul has the exact same qualities of the whole, which means it is eternal. It always has been. It is immortal. It always will be. And what? It is continually unfolding. When it's continually unfolding, what does it mean? It's becoming more aware of the infiniteness that it is, and aware of the infiniteness means the more creative power within you to create new experiences so that you can have more new experiences. You see, when we create a new experience, that means we reach a point, and that just means, now I want to go to a higher point. I reach that point, now I want to go to a higher point. You see, remember, we come back to the eternality, immortality. It doesn't end. You never get there. You never get to the conclusion. The conclusion does not happen because you are eternal, so you're always going to be flowing to a greater expression. So we beat ourselves up by missing deadlines. No. A deadline is just something artificial that we've created in our minds. The question I ask is that while you're on your journey of creating your lives, are you present? Are you fully present in who you are in that moment? Are you fully present, realizing that the experience you're creating, you are creating? Remember, it's not what happens to you. It's what you do about it. It's what you think about it. It's how you react to it. You see, that power is always in you. When we give that power away to someone else, we're denying that we're an individualization of God. We're denying that we are eternal. We're denying that we're immortal. We're denying that we're continually unfolding. We cannot be self-loving when we submit ourselves to someone else's will, someone else's opinions. That's why it takes courage to self-love. It takes courage to stand up for what you want. Now, you don't have to get up and throw things in people's face. The thing is, though, you don't have to stay in a situation that's not serving. So last night when Jean and I had done the proprietary or the necessary greetings and salutations and that, we realized that we were done and we just left. We didn't care what the program was. We had to honor what we chose. I say that about everything. Don't be in a situation with anyone at any time that is not serving you. You can simply walk away. You do not have to be a part of it. Many times, God bless it, Jean just walks away from me. Can you even imagine that? Yes, you can. That's a scary part. You see, I guess you fully understand that in every individual, there are what? Both sides. See, remember, if God is all there is, which we stated in the first statement, right? We believe that there's one infinite power and presence. That means that every side of the coin is within it. Now you take it, well, God individualized itself as you and I, right? Well, if it individualized itself, do you think it just gave us one set of qualities, or did it give us all the qualities? All of it. So in this moment, every quality that existed in Abraham Lincoln, in Julius Caesar, in Adolf Hitler, in Jesus Christ, in Buddha, in Mussolini, all of those qualities are within every individual. But it's through self-awareness that we can choose which ones we bring into our experience. See, this is the power of choice. Where we focus. What did Jesus say? He said, "It is done unto you as you believe." And believes are nothing more than patterns or habits of thought that you have either consciously or unconsciously chosen. So as you shift your focus to a particular modality, as you shift it and it becomes your thing, all of a sudden the experience of that becomes your life. But if you don't shift it, then you continue to have the same experience over and over and over and over again. I talk to a lot of people all the time saying, I can't get out of this mess. And I said, you got to change. I don't want to change. I like who I am. Well, you're going to stay in the mess. An individual came to me recently, and this individual is a very, very deep and devout Christian. Praises Jesus for all things, and over weeks tried to schedule time with me, and finally time is set. And they came to me because their life is not flowing the way they want it to flow. And so I listened to this individual's story. And as I listened to their story, I said, I can help shine the light. And so I've got a meeting with this individual to use their language, their belief structure, and help guide them to see the truth that they're not seeing under the belief structure that they have. And you see, we can do that with any person of any faith. Because here at Agape, we talk about this idea of self-love. Well, isn't love the basis of all religions? Yes. Isn't love the basis of what's in every human being that's desiring to express? Yes. Isn't the thing that makes everyone unhappy the fact that they're not self-loving? Because if they were self-loving, what anyone else ever did would not even faze them, because if they were self-loving, they wouldn't give a hoot. When you are self-loving, you do not care what someone else does, because you are standing in your truth. You are secure in your truth. Not only are you secure in your truth, you know who you are. You know what you value. You know what your purpose is. You know what you're thinking. You know what you're saying. You know what you're acting. And when you know that and it's all in alignment, you don't care what anyone else is experiencing, because you are above that. You have lifted yourself to a whole new plane of existence. That plane of existence is called the Christ consciousness, or the consciousness of the divine, and in that state of consciousness, nothing can drag you down. Whew. The minister's preaching today. I get that more than ever, because I'm finding as we continue to evolve, the contrast becomes greater. The contrast becomes greater so that we can get a new experience, so that we can get an inner desire from within us that wants to come out. But we won't come out of our shell until we have enough contrast. You see, you'll put your hand over a flame. If a flame is here, you'll put your hand up here and say, oh, that's no problem. You'll put your hand down here, oh, that's no problem. Oh, that's no problem. Right here you go, oh, damn, that's a problem. Because it's burning. That's the same thing with our experience. We have our patterns of thought in our mind going all the time, and until we get close enough to that flame, we're not going to change it. But when it starts burning enough, then we say all of a sudden, bam, I'm out of here. I will make the change. I'll pull my hand away. This is why in AA, people never really come out of it. People never do the work until they hit the bottom. They've got to know the bottom so that they can come out to know the higher truth. This is true in anything, whether it be relationships, whether it be in a career, whether it be with money, whether it be with any aspect of life. Here's the key, though. You don't have to hit the bottom. If you know what you value, and you base your purpose in life on what you value, then you let your purpose and your values guide you. And when your purpose and values guide you, you see everything as on the way and not in the way. That's the key to a successful life. That's what makes life juicy, because I want to tell you, people say, Lee, you got the greatest life. Everything's going wonderful for you. I have as much ups and downs in life coming at me as any human being on the planet. But I see everything as on the way. Occasionally, when I see it in the way, I have to pout for a little bit. Then my wife or my son come slap me upside the head, and I get my, well, you're not honoring your teaching. You see, this is why you have spiritual community. You have spiritual community to remind you so that, I'm going to go here anyway. I wasn't going to go here. So many times people come to Agape or to a center like this, and they love it when things are going well. And then when things are not going well, they don't come around. I want you to know it's when things are not going around, you ought to be here. Because what is the key about Agape? It's safe. And why is it safe? There's no judgment. What is the purpose of Agape? It's to support you, to uncover you, developing a greater sense of love for yourself so that you can be the model of life which is unique in the world, so the world can be a better place because you are a better place. This is why we should have thousands of people in this very room. Can you imagine thousands of people in this room? We'd be really close. We wouldn't even have to reach out to hug. That's the vision that I've got, and that's the vision that's now starting to burn in my mind. I'm creating this image of more and more and more people coming and saying, I want to be unique. I want to be an individual. I want to reclaim my power. I want to be abundant. I want to be health. I want to share this gift that is unique to me with you, and I am not ashamed or afraid to be me. I am not afraid to be me. We've been taught all of our lives to live in fear. I am not a God-fearing man. I will never be a God-fearing man. How could I fear love? That's a human piece of crap that we bought into. Can I be more blunt? It is that. I want you to know, I said crap just then. I could have said the S word, but there are a couple kids in here. But Sadhguru the other night, speaking in front of thousands of people, said the S word many times. So I realize I'm in good company. And then I look at my friend Dr. John D. Martini. He says a lot more than the S word. And I say, I'm in good company. I look at Tony Robbins. He not only says the F word, S word, he says the F word. And he does it for getting attention. You see, why? Here's the thing. I want you to understand. What is a word? It's the letters of the alphabet put together. The meaning that you put on the word is your personal opinion. How you use the word is your personal interpretation. You can say the same word over here as over here, and it means different things. The question I ask is, how are you perceiving it? See, that's what's happening in the world. We're trying to be led to perceive it all in one way. No, think for yourselves. Be the individualization of God. Be unique, be whole, be perfect. Be coming from your own values, your own purpose. Live it, and I promise you, you will be in love. You will be in love with yourself, and the world will love you back. Let's pray. I want to thank you for joining us today. I am so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask you to go to our website. Once there, click on the Contribute button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to the world. I would also ask you to please share this message with anyone you feel might benefit. Again, I want to thank you for joining me and the Agape community as together we bring joy to life.